So, when the great Joe Montana talks about a kid that's exactly like him, then we gotta listen. You know what I mean? Montana said in a interview and during a radio show that he sees Brock Purdy very similar to himself. So I'm kind of getting the idea they're both undersized. They both played in some okay colleges. They had the most winningest record as starters in college football. The only difference is the kid's already beginning, and Montana's already won 4 Super Bowls, and he's a Hall of Famer. There's a big difference, but it's like comparing apples and oranges. Can Brock Purdy be our next great quarterback? That's a definitely good question mark. I feel like, if Montana is approving this kid, then we got to take it as a consideration that maybe he is the real deal. But was he saying it the same thing about Jimmy Garoppolo? Because that's a question mark. Because when you look at the way he's kind of praised Garoppolo and quite a few other quarterbacks, you might want to question that. But does Brock Purdy have what it takes to lead this franchise to the 6th Super Bowl win? We'll find out. I just think maybe we're kind of going too ahead of ourselves. And maybe Montana is just trying to promote and vouch for this kid. Sometimes that's good for business. So we got to look at it that way. But as a outside looking in for most fans, they think it's disrespectful to compare him to Montana when the greats already seen the comparisons. You have to really think of it. They're both undersized. They don't have a strong arm. They got a winning record. Brock Purdy played at Iowa State. 30 wins is the most by a quarterback to win in school history. He's already set multiple records there. I think he's got the most records. I think without him at Iowa State, they're nothing. They've been losing since he left. Joe Montana sees something in this kid. He fits the system. He does what Shanahan does. Maybe the playbook is going to open. But you got to really think of it. Like, if Montana sees similarity of himself, maybe he's not lying. But do you guys think he's just a little too out of touch a little bit? Because he was on a lot of radio shows. He was on ESPN. So he was talking about it on 95.7 The Game. He was talking on other radio shows. And he's really vouching for Brock Purdy. So I wouldn't say he's like Montana. I wouldn't want to go there yet. But if Montana sees the similarity, you might have to take into consideration. If Brock Purdy can win you a Super Bowl and build on for a promising team, then you might want to put him in the conversation in the very near future, but not right now. Like I said, you're comparing apples and oranges. It's a little different. But Brock Purdy, if he proves himself like he did last year, he can definitely be in those discussions. But as of right now, it's a question mark. We don't know what he could be. So that's my thoughts. As always, go Niners.